Hi everyone, it's Paddy here from arithmetichub.com, thanking you for choosing this video, but reminding you that whilst this is one method to solve questions like this, it's not the only method. With that being said, let's explore this concept a little bit further. Okay, hi everyone. This is one of the most challenging methods that we are going to look at when we're looking at how to solve different types of calculations. This is ordering fractions, decimals, percentages. Now, you may have already watched ordering fractions, you may have already watched how to convert between fractions, decimals and percentages. If you haven't already watched how to do both of those, I would advise you go and have a look at that first, only because we're going to be drawing on all of those skills to be able to solve one of the most complex questions that there are on sets of calculations. If we see FDP like this, I'm talking about fractions, decimals and percentages. We can see that here in this question we've got 1.9, 178%, 7 quarters and 1 4/10. A decimal, a percentage, a fraction, and then a fraction, but it's already a mixed number. So let's have a look at the method here. Now, for the method, I've not actually been able to talk you through every single different part of a method that we could use for this. There's too many different things, there's too many different moving parts for me to be able to explain it all in this thing here. So, all I've said is use your FDP conversion methods to make all numbers either fractions, decimals or percentages. So you need to use those methods you've used to turn fractions to decimals, fractions to percentages, turn percentages to decimals, and be able to convert between all of those fluently to be able to answer a question that looks like this. I am also not going to tell you which one it is that you convert them to. You might find converting them all to fractions is easier, you might find converting them all to percentages is easier. All I'm going to say is if you want to do it that way, that's completely fine. The way I would do these questions is I would convert them all to decimals. I find that is the easiest and the most efficient method. Mainly because, for example, if you convert them to percentages, what that's probably doing is it's probably adding an extra step. There's already so many steps to a question like this. The last thing you want to do is be adding any extra steps where you might start to make some mistakes, because we don't want to drop a mark on something like that. The second part of the method, also just to add a little bit extra to this method, the last thing we needed was, it says that fractions can be converted to decimal by dividing or by converting them to over 100. So there's two different ways you can do that, but I find that really helpful for a question like this. Okay, so let's have a little look. The way I would do it is I would start off and give each of these its own space. So I would say 1.9, I'm converting all these into decimals first, aren't I? So I'm ordering them smallest to largest, but I'm going to convert them all to decimals first. I've got 1.9, it's already decimal, I don't need to change it, I'm just going to leave it in its own space there for now. 178%. Now this is a percentage, I need to convert a percentage to a decimal. The way that I would do that is I would say, right, I know I can convert percentages to decimals by dividing them by 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put underneath 178, decimal there, and divide by 100. If I divide by 100, I know I move it 2 places. It's a division, I move it to the right, 2 places because there's 2 zeros in the question. So I drop my 1 down, move it once, twice. I drop my 7 down, move it once, twice, and I drop my 8 down, move it once, twice. So my 178% has become 1.78. Now I have 2 decimals. Let's move on to this one, 7 quarters. So, 7 quarters. I know there's 2 ways I can do this. I can convert it to over 100, or I can just divide it. Now, for this one, because it's over 4, I know that I could actually make that into over 100 quite easily, but division I think is going to be the easiest way to do this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a division. It's a decimal division, so the numerator goes on the inside, the denominator goes on the outside, okay? So it's 7 divided by 4. I'll line my decimal points up. How many times does 4 go into 7? It goes into 7 once. Again, when we're doing these types of decimal divisions, we can't just say, okay, well, we'll put a remainder in here. It's a decimal, we're looking for an answer in a decimal. So, I put my placeholder in. 4 divided by 7 was 1. It had a remainder of 3 because I stopped at 4, 5, 6, 7. So I carry my 3. Now I've got the next part of the question. How many times does 4 go into 30? 4 goes into 37 times, because 4 times 7 is 28, 4 times 8 would be 32. So we've had to stop at 28. Again, we can't put another remainder, so what we have to do is we carry, put a placeholder down, we carry the 2 that we still have remaining. Now how many times does 4 go into 20? 4 goes into 25 times. So now I have 1.75, which I'm going to, again, put in its own space under here. 1.75. 1.9, 1.78, 1.75. The last one is 1 4/10. So for this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it from a mixed number into an improper fraction. 1 times 10 equals 10. 10 add 4 equals 14. So I've got 14 over 10. Now, I could do this as a division, or I could say fractions can be converted to decimals by dividing or by converting to 100. So I've got another option. I can convert it to over 100, can't I? Well, that's a really easy equivalent fraction. To get from 10 to 100, I've multiplied by 10. So if I've done that to the denominator, I need to do that to the numerator. 14 times by 10 is going to give me 140 over 100. I found this easier to do it, but actually looking at it now, it probably could be just done with a division. It might be easier, so we might even have a look at how we would do that in a second. 140 over 100, I know that my denominator here tells me what I need to divide by, so I need to do 140 divided by 100. If I divide by 100, I've already done this over here, haven't I? So all I would do, I would write my 140 in, line my decimal point up, and it's divided by 100. 2 zeros in the question, so I'm going to move the digits 2 places, drop it down, move it once, twice. Drop it down, move it once, twice, and once, twice. So now I've got 1.40. So, what I have as my answers are what I have as all my decimals, we're not up to the answer yet, is 1.9, 1.78, 1.75 and 1.40. Now, straight away I can spot another problem. Here we have 1 digit after the decimal, 2 digits after the decimal, 2 digits after the decimal, 2 digits after the decimal. I could have written it as 1 digit after the decimal, but I still have 2. So what I'm going to do is just make sure I've added my placeholder in, so all of these numbers have 2 decimal places. Now I have, as my options, 1.90, 1.78, 1.75 and 1.40. So now it's really easy to be able to order them. I can see my smallest is going to be 1.40. I can see my next smallest is going to be 1.75. I can see my next smallest is 1.78, and I can see my largest number is 1.90. We can see though how much working out is required for a question like this. It requires an awful lot of skills to be pulled together to be able to answer a question such as this. So when you're doing it, make sure you set it out, give yourself a lot of space, and make sure you practice all of those methods. Again, if you just wanted to check with this and stick around for this last bit, what we can do is have a look at how actually it might have been better to do this bit here. So if you wanted to have a little look at how we would do this one, we would do convert it first from a mixed number into an improper. 1 times 10 equals 10. 10 add 4, so we add our numerator is going to give us 14. And then we've got 14 over 10. It's 14 over 10, and it's telling us that we need to do 14 divided by 10 like that, don't we? So if we do 14 divided by 10, it's a division, so it's moving 1 place to the right, and we can tell it's 1 place because there's 1 0 in the question. Line our decimal points up, drop the 1 down, move it 1 place, drop the 4 down, move it 1 place. So this becomes 1.4, 1.40, and maybe that might have been a more efficient method to be able to answer this question than the one that I chose. So even when I am very experienced doing these, I have done hundreds of these questions over the years, I still find ways where I think actually a more efficient method might have been this to do it, because there's so many things going on in a question like this that sometimes it's just a case of having a look at it and trying once you've seen which method works and going, okay, I can use this method to be able to solve this part of the question, which gets me to a final correct answer.
If you found this video useful, then I would massively appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want to explore more methods or practice using the method we've looked at here, why not check out the teacher videos at arithmetichub.com. Arithmetic Hub has videos just like this on different methods, specifically targeting areas needed in Key Stage 2. There you can practice one particular skill, or generate your own sets of calculations designed to challenge your understanding of all the topics covered in Years 3 to 6.